Chris, before your time in here, I used to say that little warning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I said it and turned the microphones on, they were talking to each other about
Always.
something.
Always.
Always.
You'd say the mics are hot. We'd be like,
Always.
we'd still be talking.
This is behind the scenes thing, y'all. It's
Sure.
now 7 o'clock, and good morning to you. Smoke them if you got them.
Well,
I'm
if you
pretty
don't.
sure that some of you more experienced military vets out there have heard that one before, haven't you?
Yeah.
Of course, it refers to taking a break from whatever training or working you've got. If you got a cigarette, you can smoke it. Those days of smoke a Camel, if you got it, moving forward, as we refer to Wednesdays now being the hump day of the work week. I guess you could really play around with the phrases if you had a mind like the one Lee has. Another one of those massive temperature drops yesterday in the height of a thunderstorm that passed through the area. As hot as it's been, it was no wonder that thunderstorms popped up across much of the Tar Heel State. And my hacienda here, we went from the mid-90s to 76 degrees in about 20 minutes. Good morning. I am Rayford Brown.
I'm Chris Marks.
I'm Lee Barrows.
So welcome into the Wednesday edition, Hump Day edition
Hump
of
Day.
Live and Local. We're almost halfway through the work week. We will be in 58 minutes. Goodness gracious. What a week. Last week or week before last, I said I was going to look for something really cool to start each show with. It's really difficult this week to find anything because even the networks are so clogged up. Even the major news outlets are so clogged up. Everybody is so clogged up with all of the events that are going on.
Yeah.
They don't have room to look for a good story.
Yeah.
I
Amen.
don't even know what the local stations are doing for kickers. You know, we used to always have the number one story of the day or the kicker story. That's what most reporters would strive to get. Either one, because those were the two most popular stories of the day. Holy mackerel. I don't even know where you begin. It's out there. Let's talk about the weather around the county first. Got a new thing for my amateur radio guys. One of them popped up with it this morning.
Yeah.
From the swamp to the burrow.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, from back swamp all the way out to Swansboro. We got and out there in the southwest area, Randy from the Onslow Amateur Radio Club. Randy's got 77 degrees and 0.57 inches of rain from yesterday. We're all geeks from when it comes to weather. We've all got weather stations in, and we're all weather spotters. We're trained weather spotters from the National Weather Service. Joe down in the borough, he's got 78 degrees and 0.67 inches of rain. Lee, the other one, the back swamp Lee, he's got 75 degrees and 0.59 inches of rain. Dale, over there at River Bend, surprisingly, he only got 0.17 inches of rain, and it's 75 degrees. Actually, it's 75.3. He got a new weather station. It's got an extra digit on it. And here at the studio this morning, it was 74 degrees, and I got the rain amount for the whole area. At 1.19 inches of rain yesterday.
Yeah.
It rained for about probably an hour and a half steady.
Yes, it did.
And we had some rather steady thunder boomers. Nothing's close hitting.
Nope.
I didn't see a flash and hear a thud all at the same time, and the hairs didn't stand up on my arm like they do if the lightning is really close by, as it has on many occasions. So, anyway, it's going to be warm again today. We'll get into that in a little bit here. You guys doing all right?
Yeah, not a drop of rain yesterday. 79 when I left the house this morning out there on Roadstown, Barnett.
It was 77 when I left the Woodlands with 98% humidity and 0.78 for the rain gauge from yesterday.
You had a lot. Yeah, a lot in that neck of the woods out there. A lot of the folks had about that same amount. So.
Yes.
We had all the clouds. I was driving back towards Richlands. Dark skies, dark. I went, oh, we're going to get it. We're going to get it, not a drop.
Working outside, had been working outside and had just this much more to go before the skies let loose. And I was like, doggone it. But, I welcomed the rain. So
absolutely.
I just have a little bit more to do sometime today. Hopefully I can get it done so I can put everything back on my patio. So
walking the puppy dog this morning, one of them, Shockwave. We walked down to the block as we try to do every morning. We'll walk somewhere, but I walked across the lawn this morning. It was my feet were like I had been wading in the ocean.
Yes.
Like, wow. The deer that I've seen running across the road,
Swimming.
I had to pull him out of the pond this morning in my yard.
Well, I saw one coming up the road this morning in your hood. He was wearing a life preserver.
I actually saw a picture yesterday of in Emerald Isle of 2 deers, a buck and the mama deer, coming. They looked like they were coming out of the ocean. But they were just running along the beach.
One of your ham radio guys yesterday afternoon, it was around 5 o'clock, and he was coming up 17, and he just yelled all of a sudden, and I was like, Lord, what happened? He said something about a deer just ran across the highway, and he goes, look, here comes another one. There was like 3 of them.
If you see one running across the road, you better slow down and get prepared to stop, because there may be a herd behind us.
It scared me at first. I thought
2 or 3.
I thought something had happened.
So,
besides the deer. Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Just oh dear.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Oh dear. It was an oh dear experience.
Yeah. Well, the fallout, the catch up, the explanations, the lies, let's make excuses, let's do this, let's do that. From the Manhattan shooting on Monday is continuing. The blame game, relentless. Liberals calling for stricter gun controls, of course, calling for banning so-called assault weapons. Trying to find out what caused the man who was listed as a security guard in a Las Vegas casino, former security guard, to pack up his pistol and rifle and drive to the Big Apple, park his car, walk unchallenged along the street with that rifle, go until he got to his destination. Then he walked into the building and began shooting. I'm still trying to work on that one. If this guy from the newspaper got a snapshot of him before anything went down, before any calls went out, I wonder how come.
Yeah, did he stop and call 911? The whole thing is bizarre.
The why has been talked to death for 36 hours now. There's still nothing more than uneducated speculation as to why the former high school football player, who we hear played with the Canadian League at one point in time, entered that building, the New York headquarters for the National Football League and the Blackstone Company. I don't know if the mayor of New York actually to support what he claimed yesterday, that the shooter got on the wrong elevator bank.
Yep.
How do they know that?
He surmised it. Elevators in some of these high-rise places, they got elevators for floors 11 and then elevators for floors 0 or the basement through 10. They got those elevators. And then sometimes you can find an express elevator. You can get on it and it will zoom you past everything else on the bottom. And then you can start getting off at floor 11 and up or whatever their things are. So I don't know if he just got on the wrong one, wrong bank, whether he had no idea what was going on. I don't know. Obviously, he wasn't with us completely.
No.
A with us completely guy is not going to walk the streets of New York with what is obviously some kind of what they have designated as an assault weapon. Right? And then anyway, he got up there. The mayor thinks he was headed for the NFL place because of his former football days. Jeez. We just had one of those former football guys from high school in here just a few minutes ago. Do I need to worry about him? I will say, you're trying to tie a lot of stuff into something that you don't know as much about it as you think you know.
I mean, he left a note claiming he had concussion issues back from the days.
Or whatever.
CTE.
It's called, let me see it, encephalopathy.
Okay, but anyway, he left a note saying, check my brain. But yet the mayor yesterday at a news conference said he never played past high school. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. Mayor Adams is wrong.
Mayor Adams is...
if you talk to it, they were talking to his friends. Everybody in high school when he played there and I think went to junior college, but you're going to be great. You are a future professional football player.
So it went to his head.
Went to his head.
Yeah.
Played in the CFL, which has nothing to do with the NFL, other than some players make it from the CFL to an NFL. Still got to get tryouts and stuff. Why he was blaming the NFL, I don't know. I mean,
did he blame the NFL?
Maybe.
I mean, did he make it public, or is that what we're presuming was occurring?
The notes he left behind say, this is what they say. I haven't seen the notes, so I'm just going to go by what these people are saying. Because of all the football concussions that he had, and that he played, he chose to play football. You choose to play football, you're going to
assume the risk.
You're going to assume some of the risk for injuries. With any sport, you're going to assume risk of injuries.
60 years of diving to the bottom of the ocean, as my grandmother used to say back in the old days in the 1960s. You went to the bottom of the ocean. 60 years of doing that now. 60 years. I assume it used to be a high risk sport or thing you did for fun or whatever. I don't think it was really ever that high risk, because the people who did it got a lot of training on their own sometimes, as I did to begin with. But, you learn through experience, but you also learned you don't stick your hand in a shark's mouth. You don't grab a shark by the tail. A lot of fishermen up there haven't found that out yet. When they get one up on the beach and they grab them by the tail and turns around and bites them. No, they haven't learned that yet. We learned it underwater. But if you're playing football, you learn when not to lead with your head.
Yeah. Some of the greatest running backs that ever were ran out of bounds. They knew how to take care of the ball. They knew that, look, I've got a cornerback, I've got a linebacker, they're coming like this, I'm going like that.
Why do you think? Now, they say you cannot throw the football away. But the quarterback, when he's got, and the quarterbacks are generally not the biggest players on the team. You got some 800-pound gorillas coming in your direction, and you got a football, and they all want to tackle you so they can make you fumble so they can grab the football. And so I'll chunk that sucker over, just over the heads of some available receiver if you're smart. They train for that, by the way. If you can, and then just over that guy's head so nobody else can get it either, and it goes out of bounds, so it's good. Yeah. Or if you're close to the sidelines, you run it to the sideline. If nothing else, run it out of bounds, right?
Yep.
That's the way you do it.
That's if you're smart. That's
if you're smart.
You want a long career.
You generally don't have that bench out there with those extra people on it. It's full of linebackers, and it's full of all sorts of people out there. Yeah. Tackles. They're full of people. How many quarterbacks do you see hanging out over there? There's only one that's really good, and he's playing on the field.
Yeah.
They got some fill-ins to give them a break if they're doing okay, but there's only one quarterback generally with a backup or two. Yeah. So they know better, and they take care of themselves for the team.
I'm not going to say he didn't have some head injuries. I played football, I played basketball, played baseball, got hit in the head with all of them.
Played football.
With a baseball, you got hit in the head?
Well, yeah.
Wild pitches?
No, when they come back and hit you when you're pitching and and you can't get out of the way fast enough.
We had a neighborhood league. Yeah. Us kids, we played football a lot. I was the kicker because I could kick a football. Yeah. But that's about all I did.
But
no concussions.
My the knee. I've had 6 knee operations, 1 knee replacement, and 2 Achilles tendon, all on the left leg, all from sports.
So did that make you decide you wanted to go out and shoot people up in the NFL headquarters?
No, it made me take up golf.
See, if you had done that earlier, you could have been run over by a golf cart.
Well,
there are risks everywhere, including getting hit in the head by a golf ball coming your way, and you not know it.
Well, there was risks in the Postal Service, and that's
rotor cuffs. Oh my gosh.
Going postal.
No, you don't see that much. Yeah, rotor cuffs. A lot of carriers with rotor cuff.
No, you don't.
Surgeries, and in fact, my rotor cuff is a little tingy, but it is doable. It's from yanking and lifting. A lot of rotor cuff surgeries. But getting back to that shooter, I just wonder if maybe he was trying to get hired by the NFL, trying to get on
at
a
age
team,
27.
and they were denying him. I mean, he
beforehand.
obviously has a huge grievance against the NFL.
Why?
Maybe because he thought he could be a football player,
Well,
and they were like,
you
"No,
know what?
It's a good thing they need to get. They put that building behind bars then, because how many people try out for the NFL who never get there?
There are
All of them.
so many unsigned free agents
Sure.
that they try and then they don't make it, so they go to the CFL, they go to the XFL, and then they hope
They go to the Sandlot.
one day that maybe they'll be seen and someone will go, hey, he's got a chance, and take him.
Well, here's something that the mayor said yesterday, and I'm like, here we go, because I was expecting this the first night. He emphasized the need for stricter gun control measures nationwide, as he stands on New York City being the safest big city in America.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know which New York he's living in.
Well, actually, the city of New York, for the last number of years, and not because of their gun control situations,
Right.
has been deemed, because they've had a very aggressive police force
yes, they do.
in the past. They have had an extremely aggressive police department. There was the stop and frisk laws that so many people got screaming and carrying on about. Most of those people that got stopped and carry on were people that were carrying guns illegally, and they got arrested for it. But they did have a stop and frisk law. They could stop them and frisk them. Okay, you're in a suspicious area. Here's not you didn't just stop anybody walking out of Macy's or something.
Yeah.
But if you're in a suspicious area at a particular time, 3:00 in the morning, hanging out on the corner with a hood, among other known gang members, you're going to get frisked. They found dope. They found guns. They found a lot of dope and guns, and they took them off the streets and took those people off the streets because they got arrested. And then at one time they enforced this third strike and you're gone, dude. 3 strikes and you're out.
Yeah.
Habitual felon laws were enforced. I don't know how much it is today, but New York became a fairly safe place. Much safer than Chicago. Much safer than L.A.
Yeah,
much safer than Detroit, even.
When I think of that, I think Chicago, when you're talking about the gangs. If we think about New York, I don't think about gangs. What I think about is the young lady set on fire in the subway.
Yep.
The CEO of the drug company being shot.
Which was a couple blocks from where the shooting happened.
The bombing there. I'm sorry, I'm not sure that they're the safest place and they're the safest city in the United States.
A couple of those that you just mentioned, out of the 4, there were guns involved in 2 of them, and the others there were no guns involved.
Right.
People set fire to somebody. I don't care what kind of gun controls you've got.
No.
Well, don't we have that issue with the homeless taking over the parks? And of course, the hotels were booked with immigrants at one time. I'm just saying, I know New York City is a big city and they're going to have their issues just like other big cities, but
multiplied, yes.
multiplied.
Well, when I was in Los Angeles traveling from the hotel to the Playboy Mansion or to
What?
to the Playboy Mansion.
What were you going there for?
Dinner.
Yeah.
No, seriously, no. We
Rabbit was on the menu.
Seriously, we went to dinner. We were all given. I don't know. We were all escorted by a former playmate, and just did a tour of the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah.
Hugh was busy with the twins, so we didn't get to see him. But there to the studios where Friends was shot, to the LA Arena. Bars everywhere. On all the windows, there's bars. There's graffiti everywhere. Sure. There were homeless on the streets and stuff. But
now, in these shootings, including this one in New York, there seems to be, for the mass shooting, there seems to be one of the first things that finally reporters are asking, the smart ones anyway, there seems to be a common denominator. And that common denominator is not that it's an AR-15 or an assault weapon, or by their definition, any gun's an assault weapon. By mine, it is too. Any gun can be an assault weapon. It's not, what's the common denominator? It's not drugs.
How did they get possession of the weapon?
Whether it's a gun or not. How about the common denominator on the guys with the set fire to the people? What do you think the common denominator is out there for all of these mass killings?
Hate.
Mental illness.
Yeah, they said he had a history of it,
Yeah,
documented. But that's what gets me right.
I don't know how he had a concealed carry permit.
He had a documented history of mental health issues.
I'm going to tell you that.
CCW.
I'm going to tell you some of that real quick, like here. That is a problem with our whole legal mental health situation. Law enforcement does not have access to a person's mental health records.
Very, very true. But when you first got your CCW, did you have to get a doctor's note?
Nope.
I had to.
A doctor's note?
Yeah. Saying I was of sound mind.
I didn't.
I did.
So you got a doctor to lie for you?
I paid him well.
That's a good point.
It's in some places that's the case. Here is the simple solution to that.
Okay.
The simple solution is if you go get your driver's license, there's information you've got to give. Okay, you've got to give it. If my neighbor wants to know whether let's say he can't. Law enforcement can't even get your social security number unless you want to give it to them. They always ask for it, but there's no requirement. Got it? There's no requirement for it. If you want to get a loan, the bank will say, it's up to you, but we're not going to give you a loan without your social.
Right.
Well, if you can do that, Mr. or Mrs. America, if you want a gun purchase permit, you want a concealed carry permit, then you're going to have to sign over your rights there's going to have to be and there needs to be a nationwide data bank of people with mental disorders. I got a caveat there, so hear me out. With people who've been diagnosed legitimately with mental issues. What are those mental issues? That has to be established, some sort of a guideline there. But you have to be able to sign over. If you want a gun permit, you got to give me the right to check that database.
So would you, as a lay person, I'm just going to ask as a lay person, would you consider depression or anxiety as a mental issue?
That's the caveat that I'm talking about.
Okay.
There will be certain levels, certain degrees. I don't know anyone who does not have a mental issue of one thing or another. Some of us may be paranoid. Some of us may jump at the sound of thunder and gunfire. Some of us, some people just may have that lens. And it depends upon who is doing the examining and what kind of levels that will rise up to the part that should not own a gun.
It's hard drawing that line.
I know that. But that's the other point. If you are refused based upon one of these little bullet points, you got a star beside your name. If you are refused, the sheriff or whoever issues these things in certain places, if you are refused, you have a right to have a hearing before a judge. And the judge will make that determination as to whether, for instance, I don't know how many psychiatrists you know. Do you know any?
Oh, I know a bunch.
I know a good counselor.
Yeah. Psychiatrists and psychologists?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I do too.
Yeah.
I was wondering why you did. I know why I did. But just kidding. But if a situation like that, how many of those lean so far to the left that if they were on the water, they would list and fall over into the water and sink? Maybe none that you know.
Yeah.
But I have known those that would not, they wouldn't turn right on a highway if their lives depended on it. Kind of like me, I won't turn left if my life depends. No, that's the extreme. But they would find you. Oh my God, he twitched his eye.
Yeah.
And go put him down. He's got a mental illness, so shouldn't have a gun. So if you find one like that and you are diagnosed by that, then that person should be able to take it before a superior court judge who has no personal feelings one way or the other.
I understand.
That's the thing. But there needs to be a level out there. If you've got a guy like this who obviously had issues,
right?
Okay, everybody knew he had issues. There should be some sort of okay, yes, I see that can we send you over here for evaluation? If you want a gun, that it will be your right to have somebody judge you. If you blow into that machine called the breathalyzer, they don't call it a machine. They got mad when I used to call it a machine. And that electronic device, if you blow into that thing and it comes back with a reading, you say, well, I know I did not have more than a couple of sips of wine. And you know for a fact, you have a right to then go to get a blood sample at the hospital. They will do that. You may have to pay for it if you request it, but you have a right to do that. And that is admissible. And when it comes back double zeros, well, guess what? They're going to take that over the word of a device. At that time, you can call it a machine.
Well, here you go, Chris. Something else this guy said in his little letter he left behind. He said that Terry Long football gave him CTE, and it caused him to drink a gallon of antifreeze. You can't go against the NFL; they'll squash you.
Yeah, but that's where they should.
I'm
should
telling you.
There's his first.
How did he live through that? A gallon of antifreeze?
He's lying about that.
No doubt about that.
So he exaggerates, he lies, he does whatever, and he had issues, and they were all very obvious. I'd just like to know how he managed to get through. That's the only question that I've got about him and the gun and all that sort of thing. He shouldn't have had a concealed carry permit.
No. But it's being said in the news media, but not verified yet, that his father was an LAPD cop for many years.
Irrelevant.
Well,
no, what I'm saying is, I agree, it's irrelevant.
I'm pretty sure the sheriff's department, there are issues of LAPD and LA Sheriff's
We
Office.
don't know that, but how do we not know that maybe, his dad helped him get, who knows, it'll all come out.
It will, but my thing is this, and they're going to examine his brain to find out if he did have some kind of.
Why?
They just said it last night. They're going to do it
to verify.
But the bottom line is this:
the suits, for one thing,
whether he had it or not, he killed innocent people, and that is not. If you got a problem with the NFL, go call Roger Goodell. Get an appointment.
My whole point on it is: does everybody who's committed some type of
nothing?
Does everybody who's committed some type of shooting like this, killing of people, do they get their brain analyzed?
Yeah.
Every single one of them?
Likely, yes.
I've never heard that before.
Really?
I've never heard, we're going to autopsy his brain to see if we can figure out why he's crazy. Never heard that.
You haven't been to the autopsies I've been in. It didn't require
I just don't see.
They did victims. They did everything else.
I mean, I can understand them doing an autopsy to show that, doing a drug test and everything.
Part of the brain.
Let's take I know they check, but do they all run tests on these people's brains to see why they went crazy?
Yeah, should. Anyway, the police commissioner up there claims that this guy had a history of mental illness. I don't know how she got that information that fast, and the Las Vegas sheriff did not. Whoever issues the permits there, I'm assuming the sheriff.
Right.
If he did indeed have a mental disorder, why would the information not be sent to the sheriff? If they found out even later after he got a permit, I know that Lee's got a permit, I find her walking out here going, and then I, report her for going,
surprised I haven't lost it already.
Then, it would be responsible of me to notify the sheriff in his county that she was having some issues, and he may want to reconsider or have somebody talk to her. And then at some point in time, they could require it I can lift your permit with no reason.
So what's the sheriff going to do? Send a deputy over my house and interview me?
Possibly.
And I could act so sweet and make tea and cookies, and and they leave going, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with her."
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you have, most people have rings now on their doorbells.
Right.
Hopefully, most people have learned to do that. So we'll say Rayford is running around up and down the street here.
Running is out of the question.
Yeah, well, we know it won't be running.
Is walking at his pace in his underwear with a gun and shooting. And by the time JPD gets here, you're back in the house wearing, clothes and stuff like that. Someone's going to have it on ring.
Yes.
Hopefully. And is that enough evidence to have
And
them?
when you get 3 or 4 or 5 people that see Lee running up around doing crazy things, and they all come forward, or they start talking to your neighbors and whatever, just to be sure, because they're going to give her, first of all, the benefit of the doubt.
Sure.
They get a call from our crazy ex. They're going to give whoever, not yours, but
You want to talk about ring doorbells? I have to tell you this real quick. So last night I get an alarm warning on my little thing, ding ding, and front door. And so I went to my phone and it said person detected at your front door. Can you see what that is? It's a frog on my doorbell.
It's those little green ones.
do you know what one of the more common ADT alarms is for motion detectors? I had ADT at one time.
Yeah, I had them for about 15 years.
You know what they would say were the false alarms turn out to be? Spiders
Yes.
crawling over the sensor.
I had to turn off my back door light. Don't really need it anyway because I have the big motion light up there. But I was continuously getting ding dings because of bugs flying in front of the light, which was right in front of the camera. So
Is this Dr. Rose?
this is Dr. Rose.
Oh, lots of questions this
We just
morning for
went right
Dr.
into
Rose.
it.
So Dr. Rose is going to say, I'm going to hang up right now because these guys are crazy.
You're crazy.
Dr. Rose, you had any psychiatry experience?
Well, you
Uh-oh.
can say that most little kids are a little bit cuckoo, but not adult crazy.
There's a professional diagnosis. Most of the kids are a little bit cuckoo. Well, I have to kind of agree with that because then we go out to be crazy.
And some of us never grow out of it.
Dr. Rosemary Stein, our resident medical expert, and she handles a lot of kitties, cuckoos and all, from time to time. How are things going with the heat up your way?
It's hot. I'll tell you.
She's also a meteorologist. It's hot. And the kids are cuckoo.
Yep, that's right. Well, I can tell it's very hot, and there's a lot of humidity. So make sure that you keep the kiddos inside if you can. If you're going to be outside, make sure you have something if they're going to be out extensively, even though it sounds counterproductive, but maybe some spray misty water to keep them cool, to keep their skin cool, and also make sure you have plenty of fluids. Cold is good, but not too cold. Just cool is better because it absorbs better into the body.
Do you know that I was told that, and I do that now, Dr. Rose. I spend a lot of time outside, and someone said, you don't drink refrigerated or ice water.
No.
You drink
Yes.
faucet or room temperature water.
I like well water.
Well, and I mean specifically if you're going to be outside, just because for it to get into the rest of the body, it needs to acclimate to the body, so that when you give you give yourself some ice cold water, it's going to sit in your belly for a little while longer. And if you just give it water that's closer to your core temperature, and I don't mean warm, but at least, let's say 50 degrees instead of it being 38 degrees, it has for some reason, when you get to that degree, the temperature difference is not so big, and so it absorbs quicker. So really, if you're a bit dehydrated, it's better for water to be closer to room temperature than an ice cold. But otherwise, for your enjoyment, if you like ice cold water, it's just not going to absorb as quickly because the body's going to have a little bit of a temperature shock.
Yeah, you may want to sip that really ice cold stuff to begin with. So you get a little bit accustomed to it. It's kind of like eating ice cream, or that tremendous headache you'll get when you get the shock effect.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Brain freeze.
I've consumed when I was really thirsty and really hot. A glass full of ice water and with literally ice cubes all in it. You take that. And that's a shock effect. And in my chest, and I can feel it in tightening in the chest area before it ever hits the belly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Any particular critical mass issues up there with the kids getting ready for school? Because you got less than a month in a lot of places.
A few weeks.
Yeah. Well, from an illness perspective, you got a lot of allergies still, but not necessarily seasonal allergies, and some sinus infections and some colds that linger. But I think the most important thing that would touch everybody during this time is to make sure that you keep the kids busy, to start getting them ready for school. And we were talking about temperature shock with the body, but you don't want to activity shock your kid and go straight from they're resting, they're spending all day just doing what they please, but being on the tablet, into starting school, because they're in that situation they're going to lose days or even weeks of their learning experience. So you want to sort of ease them into it, where they're reading and doing book reports or handwriting and doing some math problems that you can get off of the internet, or pick up some books from your local bookstore that have different like workbooks. Get them up earlier, make sure they're going to sleep earlier. All of these things need to be done before the kiddos start school. Otherwise, it's really not fair to the kids that they're just going to go from I'm having a great time having a vacation to I'm going to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and wait for the school bus.
Right. I understand. And Dr. Rose brought up an excellent point.
What's that?
Get them up one morning, feed them breakfast, and take them to the library. For a kid to be able to go through all the rows and rows of books and eventually pick out one for themselves. I mean, that's exciting for a kid.
And if you had to mow the lawn before they went, that'd even be better.
What?
There's actually, I've noticed a lot more postings of kids wanting to cut grass, weed eat, edge, things like that. I'm proud of those young people.
I am too. I am very proud of them. Right.
Alexa, wake up all the children in your household now. How's that? Oh, I'm getting eye rolls right now.
You got the side eye.
They do need to get up earlier and get prepared for it, because if they've been sleeping in until 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning and you suddenly got to get them up at 5:30 to catch a bus at 6:30, that's going to be a shock effect, and they're not going to be with it for a while. And they do need to eat breakfast. For God's sakes, plan their breakfast the night before of some sort, because when you get up a little bit late yourself and say, well, what am I going to fix now? Oh, here's some toast and some jelly. If you want more, okay, you handle it yourself. Put it in the toaster, you're good. I'm afraid a lot of people may end up going to school like that.
Did that happen to you, Rayford, as a child?
You got to be kidding.
My dad, a childhood memory.
My dad would construction. No, this is what I did with my child. I'm just kidding. I've always been an early riser, so I always beat everybody up. So
you guys would not believe the number of kids that I say, so what do you have for breakfast? And they say nothing, and the parent is right there next to them. And I look over at the parent because, well, he's still a kid. If you make sure that you make breakfast, or you force the issue and the kid helps you make breakfast, the kid's going to eat something for breakfast. Yeah. The child cons the parent into saying, well, I'm just not one of those breakfast people, and when I eat breakfast, my stomach feels sick. And I'm like, okay, and you went for that? So I'm always looking at the parent like, so who's the parent? Do you know that it's good to have breakfast? Yeah. Then they need breakfast. And you decide what that breakfast is. The healthier, the better for your kid.
Rayford, can you imagine getting Dr. Rose's side-eyed?
But one of the even growing up, and even after I got grown up, I don't necessarily eat bacon and eggs for breakfast. Okay, if I want them, I have them, but I also have them for dinner if I want them. But I may have leftover fried shrimp from last night. I don't have a problem with leftover fish, fried shrimp in the morning, even cold, with a slice of tomato.
That's right. There's no rule. There's no rule.
There's no rule.
That's right.
I do.
I have breakfast for dinner.
I have a rule, even if I'm on vacation. 2 apples, Cheerios with blueberry strawberries, and a banana. I will have that even on vacation.
You are a Fruit Loop guy, aren't you?
No, Cheerios.
That's what I said. Fruit Loop with fruit on it.
But no, even on vacation, I'm going to have that wherever I'm at.
Well, I'm not. I don't like cereal.
All right, Dr. Rose, I have a serious question for you. A friend of mine, her granddaughter was just diagnosed with this. It's called scalded staph skin syndrome, and she has the bacterial type. What in the world is that, and how does a baby get it?
Doesn't surprise Rose at all for some reason.
She knows.
Good gracious.
That's what I said. I'm asking Dr. Rose.
That's a pretty serious condition. I can't remember how you get that. It might be something like if I remember correctly, it might be a burn. It might just happen sometimes, and you sort of peel off your skin, and then the staph just keeps on growing through the skin, all over the skin. It's almost like that staph is on there, and there's staph everywhere, but not this particular kind of staph. And it stays under the first layer of the skin, and it creates these huge bubbles. But the thing is, it can make you very, very, very sick because of the amount of skin that it takes. So generally, if you have staph called skin syndrome, you have to be admitted into the hospital for IV antibiotics.
Yes.
And you're really sick.
Right.
But how it comes around, I don't know that we have really been able to figure that one out so that we prevent other kids from getting it. The good part is that it's very rare. Last 30 years of practicing pediatrics, I've probably seen it 3 times, and the kid has gone into the hospital all 3 and done well. But you have to get, if you do that and you get this, not like chicken pox, it's not little. These are kind of big, we call them bullets because they're just like balls on your body. If you suspect that you have that, either see your doctor or go to the emergency room to take your child so that you can get the proper care for your kid.
Wow.
I want to hear you explain this to your friend.
Yeah.
Oh, I understood every word she said. Well, Dr. Rose, is it curable? Will it come back again as you get older?
I've never seen it come back.
Oh, good.
I mean, anything like that could come back. Whatever in the environment made it so that you got this thing. I guess it could come back, but I've never seen it come back. So that's the good news too.
Dr. Rose, like Kathy, our daughter's 30 years old, lives outside of Charlotte and Matthews, and was talking to her the other night. And she said that her and a lot of her staff and her theater people have COVID or have had COVID. Is COVID? I know it's never going to go away, but and she said the symptoms were not as bad as when it first came out. But is COVID and the new? Is there a new vaccine out for it? An updated version? Do you know?
None of the vaccines that have been administered have been proven to be as effective as we thought they were going to be.
Yes, ma'am.
So that I think if they're going to come up with a new COVID vaccine, they really have to put their heads together and bring one out that will be effective. But the thing is that one, it's so attenuated or weak, the COVID virus now, and it has so few side effects compared especially to 4 or 5 years ago, that you really have to weigh your pros and cons and see if you want a COVID vaccine.
Yes,
okay, what is it for? Maybe the very elderly or very sickly. We probably wouldn't recommend it in children because they have their own immunity against COVID. But the thing is, it comes up in clusters still, so that when you have a sort of smattering like that, you really need to make sure that everybody quarantines, that they're not up and about. It does stay around a little bit shorter, and like I said, the symptoms are not as severe as they were, but still, to keep your neighbor, your coworker, et cetera, well, stay home. If you know you have COVID, you tested positive, you have it. Mm-hmm. So for the next 5 days, just like you would do with the flu, stay home, keep yourself away from other people, rest, take plenty of fluids, but make sure that even though you rest, that you stay a little bit active, walking around, getting your some of your stuff done.
Okay. Thank you.
Dr. Rose, as always, we thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate being asked all those questions.
We appreciate you.
We got questions. Sometimes that may not be relevant, but we have questions.
We have questions.
And now we'll let my grandchildren know that they're all cuckoo.
In their own special way.
In their own special ways, man.
Is being cuckoo hereditary? That's all I want to know.
You guys have a great week.
You too.
Bye-bye.
They're not my children's children. It's not hereditary.
Real quick before we go to weather, former retired police officer Jack Bright.
Oh, yeah.
Sent you a message.
Former retired. No, he is retired.
Yeah. Proper name for breathalyzer is a scientific instrument used to determine blood alcohol level in the breath.
You got nailed.
So how many times, Jack, did you say, would you blood this machine here, please, for me?
It's a scientific.
Yeah. Just don't get on a stand and call it a machine, because every defense attorney out there is waiting for you.
It's a scientific instrument. I like
we
that.
We were encouraged to just refer to it as an instrument. If you can't remember any of that other stuff, it's an instrument.
Yes.
So, hot and humid conditions. Yeah, not just behind the scenes. It was a machine. Hot and humid conditions will be leaving our area sometime in the second half of September.
December 1st.
Through much of the rest of this month, whew, it's hot enough for you, are the accepted greetings. Offshore out to 20 nautical miles today. You'll see southeasterly winds 5 to 10 knots, 2-foot seas, sounds and rivers will have a light chop Thursday. Mostly the same thing. Southwesterly winds, though, 5 to 10. 2-footers, sounds and rivers, a light chop. Friday, going to kick up just a little bit, 10 to 15 knot winds out of the southwest seas. A little bit more, not bad, really good, actually, 2 to 4. And a little bit more chop, and that will mean you'll probably catch more fish out there with southwesterly winds on Friday. Sounds and rivers, a moderate chop.
And today is mostly sunny with a high near 93. Heat index values as high as 103. A chance of late afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 75. There is a chance of showers and thunderstorms after midnight. Thursday, a 70% chance of showers and thunderstorms beginning in the afternoon. Partly sunny with a high near 90 and heat index values as high as 103. And Friday, a chance of showers and thunderstorms with a high near 91. 81 degrees in the surf. And currently, we have very low rip currents.
That's good.
Good to go swimming.
No, I'm kind of wrap up this nut job up in. See, that's my official diagnosis for people like
cuckoo.
that. Most cops will refer to people as nut jobs or 1073s or whatever, because we know what they are. He did have a mental disorder. There should have been something to deal with about his handgun permit, howsoever more. That does not prevent him or allow him to buy a long gun.
Right.
We'll get into that long gun controversy here in just a half second, because it's getting really wicked out there. This, where did he get it? It's one thing. And the mayor has gone nuts on this one too. But he could buy that by lying on the form. The ATF has got a form you fill out for long gun or handgun. Handgun, you in like North Carolina, and I'm assuming Las Vegas as well, you generally need a permit, either a pistol purchase permit or a concealed carry permit to buy a handgun. North Carolina, I'm not sure how that's going to go over with the new open carry or concealed carry law that's available. I don't know whether, I think you're still going to have a permit to purchase a handgun in North Carolina. That permit can be a concealed carry permit, but if you don't have one, then you have to get a purchase permit. I'm just still going to maintain my concealed carry permit as long as the sheriff will give it to me every 5 years. The handgun permit, he didn't have to have it to buy that rifle. if he bought the rifle. I don't know where he's got the rifle. That's still, they're waiting for that.
Sure.
Even the local police there in New York said that's an ATF thing, which they're having to wait for, on the serial number, yada, 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 yada. Now, the issue with the M16 type of platform, the AR-15 type of platform, and yes, they call this an M4 carbine. M4, they didn't ever say carbine, but an M4 is a carbine by its military definition. It means it's got a shorter barrel and some other things too. But you still cannot, regardless, unless you have that special permit from the feds, and which you have to get a request permission from your sheriff to get one. You still cannot carry a fully automatic weapon. You cannot have a rifle with a barrel less than 16 inches in length. An M4, the military carbine designation, carries a 14.5-inch barrel. Okay, it also fires fully automatic. It's not a 3-round burst gun. It's what they call selective fire. You pull the trigger and 3 bullets come out the barrel, one right behind the other. So it's a kind of an automatic, but it's limited to 3 rounds per trigger pull. When they first came out with the M16, they were all fully automatic, or selective fire being semi-automatic with a little lever, push the button, or fully automatic. The problem with so many people got them suddenly, they did not have a fully automatic weapon, and it happened in the middle of Vietnam. They were taking away their M14 semi-automatic rifles. Some of them had selective switches, but very few, because they were larger bore, 308, and kicked them more. And then they would give it an M16, and with a 600 round per minute rate of fire, about, how long do you think it takes to empty a 30-round magazine? Or they were issued 20-round magazines. Yep, you're empty.
Yeah.
Reload, done. So a lot of people were shot with an empty magazine. Bad guys knew when they had to try to change magazines. So the bad guys come in and shoot you very quickly. They could do that. Lots of bullets were fired with the fully automatic. So they went back came into M16A3 for your old people out there. That meant the A3 version of it could only fire 3 rounds per trigger pull. We digress. I digress. This rifle, whatever the platform was, it was an AR-15 type of platform. You can build on it. You can take away from it. They call it being tricked out. You can put special sights on it. You can put a scope on it. You can put laser sights on it. You can do all sorts of cool looking things. They look bad. They're no worse. They just look bad. Still a 5.56 rounds going to come out the barrel. It looks bad, but that same bullet comes out of the barrel of a hunting rifle called Ruger Mini 14. It fires the same bullet. It's a semi-automatic. You can buy 40-round magazines for it. What is the difference? None. Zero. It looks bad. In fact, that's the way it was described at one time to try to get a ban on the military, the AR-15 style of weapon, because it looks bad. It looks like it's a military gun. Looks do not kill, except when Lee gives them. Looks do not kill, but looks of what that thing. I'm feeling bad right now because she just gave me a look.
Yeah, I saw that eye.
But the look of a gun does not matter. It's what comes out of the barrel and whose hands
who's
it's in,
behind it. Yeah,
and whose hands are on it.
Yeah.
The guy had problems. We know it. Even if he had a pistol. See, that's the one thing I don't get. Easily concealable. He had a revolver. I don't know which one he had, but he in a shoulder holster or in his belt, or he had it. How hot was it in New York on Monday?
Hot.
What else did not notice about this picture?
He had a coat on.
Yes. That would have attracted my attention up front, whether I saw a rifle or not. Because that's one of the signs of, when you're out there sweating to the sound of the oldies and you're wearing a coat, I want to know why.
Yeah.
That's what makes me suspicious when I see people out.
Oh, I do too.
Walking down the street like early
us
evening, and they're wearing hoodies and it's pulled up over their head.
Well, some of us are trained to do that. The hoodie thing is just one of those things that people like to do.
It's 95 degrees out.
Still makes me suspicious.
Yeah, it makes me suspicious.
Wearing sunglasses at nighttime, hide your dilated eyes.
Yeah.
That's why we always said, take your sunglasses off at midnight here, dude. I want to see your eyes, see what they're doing.
I've got a picture for you that was just sent Rayford. It is
The
the
Cardinal?
Jacksonville
Oh,
Cardinals.
the guys are sweating out there.
Yeah, and they said hello to you,
Hey, Cards, how are you?
courtesy of our sports editor for the Daily
we're
News.
gonna bash him tomorrow too. I got questions to ask.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
a week to make up for.
I hope he got rested up. This is the last rest he's going to get for a while.
Oh yes, the running starts soon.
But this guy out there, how many football? You're blaming the gun. No, that's not the fault.
No.
You're blaming the football. That's not the problem. You're blaming everything but the individual. You should not be trying the gun. You should not be trying the sport of football. You should not be trying the NFL. They didn't do this. The individual did it or inherited it somewhere down the line. I do not know what his mental illness was. They will find out in the autopsy, I'm sure.
His last test was last year, where they said he had some mental issues, according to news reports. So everything is according to
I know.
these
I can find a news report somewhere that claims he had ingrown toenails. It calls him to be mad and mean. I mean, have you ever had an ingrown toenail?
Yes, I have.
And it can make you mad, can it?
No, it can be painful. Yeah,
it can make you mean. Somebody step on it. Let me know how it feels to you.
not too good.
Somebody gonna get hurt, right?
Yeah.
Just don't kick them because
No,
that hurts.
No. 910-333-0139. Call us.
I love the Constitution. I support it, and that includes our right to have guns. There are conditions that just because people have a right to be free, that we must not jail people who are bad people who put good people in harm's way. No, we have a right to be free in this country. But if you are a bad person, you're not going to have that right. It's going to be removed from you. If you have a mental issue, that doesn't mean you're a bad person, but that also does not mean that you have the right to carry a gun or possess a gun. There are reasons, not excuses, there are reasons that certain people should not own guns. Convicted felons. And you'll ask, well, convicted felon, I mean, he stole a bunch of money from his company, and should that be a reason that we don't let him ever carry a gun? Well, they can, under certain conditions, move forward with that as convicted felons and have some of their rights restored. But a convicted violent felon, absolutely not now, not ever. Somebody convicted of domestic violence, whether he had a gun or not, yeah, he has a problem. If he's convicted, he's got a problem. So, or she, in a couple of cases that I had to deal with, she has a problem. Then they should never have the right to have a gun.
Yep. Period.
Bottom line. Unless they can go get a shrink to sign off on it that they're cured for everything. No. If you know your neighbor is incapable of driving, and I'm not going to use age here because I'm at that age too, probably. Age itself should not be a disqualifying factor in being able to drive or get a gun. But if you know your neighbor and he or she is 55 years old and is about as good a driver as my dog and has problems, could be physical problems. You want somebody who can't function well physically behind the wheel of a 3,000-pound weapon of mass destruction, who cannot, their reaction time to go from the accelerator to the brake is 17 seconds in an emergency? Is that what you want? Do you want your neighbor driving up and down your streets with your kids or your grandkids, or you pulling in and out of your driveway? No. Those kinds of people need to be reported as well.
Yeah.
Their weapon of mass destruction is no less deadly than that guy's whatever weapon they want to call it, an AR style platform weapon. Okay. Next.
Our our Senate is back in session. Oh, yeah, go cards.
Go Cards.
Go cards. But
Yes,
our Senate
they
was
are.
back, and either yesterday or today, they plan on overriding
It was
yesterday the Senate did. So now they're waiting on the House today. Maybe I think
they overrode 12 of the 14 bills that the governor vetoed.
Yeah.
One of the bills that they did not vote on yet will probably get delayed, and it could be delayed for a week or 2 or months. And that is the SB 50, the concealed carry bill.
Yep.
So,
But hats off to those
yes.
who did that.
Yeah, Senator
Lazar.
Lazar put out a statement on that.
I'm not opposed to for you or me
Let's see
or
what he said.
my next door neighbors being able to carry a gun concealed.
Mhm.
Even if they have a permit, they've been through a class, 8 hours a day, that at least they're not good shots. That doesn't make them a good shot.
No.
It means they can pull the trigger and hit the target. Out of 30 rounds, I think is what the last time I remember seeing the test. 30 rounds, they can keep them on the target at close range,
Right.
which is good. That's the only distance you should ever be shooting at anybody anyway. If they're out there at 35 yards away, you can just drop down and wait for them to run out of bullets. They will sooner or later. Just hide. But if they've been through a class, they at least know that. No, I can't step into my backyard and there's a guy stealing my lawnmower.
What?
Bang!
Would you
No.
shoot him in your yard because he's still in your lawnmower?
No, I'd pay him to steal it. That means I wouldn't have to use it. But there are people that think that because a guy is in the yard,
Right.
he's he's breaking into the man's
That's
car.
right.
He's breaking into
you
my
don't have the
car.
right to shoot him.
He's breaking into my car. My God, he's going to steal my stuff. Bang. No, you do not have that right.
No, you don't.
Now, Joe Blow off the streets, do you think that the average citizen walking the streets of Onslow County right now knows what the laws are, what they can and cannot do when
No.
it comes to self?
No.
I rest my case. That's a done deal.
No.
No.
I mean, the laws are tricky, but they're not. You just got to know what they are and use a bit of common sense.
Right.
Oh God, I don't even know how you can control
I
it.
just-
I don't know. But I recommend you getting a concealed carry permit, even if passes and you don't have to. It's okay.
Mhm.
And there may be some reasons for it, like mine expired and I forgot to go get it renewed, and I have to go take the test again, which I did.
Test? What test?
When mine expired and I did not know mine had expired.
For CCW?
Yeah.
I never took a test.
I'm sorry, you never took a test?
No.
How did you get your concealed carry permit?
I went to the class and he goes,
There's a little test in there too, and you
Yeah.
had
we
to go,
never took a test.
and you had to shoot at the range too.
Well, we went to the range. I was the
That
first
in
one.
itself is a test.
I took my test. The class was held at the old fire department downtown, near where the United Way is now. United Way actually may be in that building now.
Right, right. Well, mine was, I took the class that the instructor used to be an instructor for us when we owned Sportsman's Lodge.
Sure.
So he knew me.
He slipped you through.
But no. I mean, and when we went to the
You're gonna make
range,
that invalid.
and I was with a lot of people that had brand new gun owners, didn't even know how to load it. And when he said, "Who wants to go first?" Me. And I shot off some rounds, and he goes, "You're good."
Were
'Cause
we
he
in
knew-
the same class?
You know what?
I think we were.
I think, did we go out there on 53 to see
Yeah.
what?
I want to go last in a
Yeah.
class where nobody else knows what they're doing.
It was Patrick that was our instructor.
Yeah, I think so.
We probably
Yeah.
were.
I
Yeah.
want to be last. I do not want all these people behind me with guns they haven't fired yet.
Mm-hmm.
Playing with them while I'm up
No.
there shooting. No. I'll
I
be
was like,
last.
let
Y'all
me
go and
shoot so
for-
I can go.
Yeah.
Because I
say-
knew,
I go use all your bullets up, and then I'll go up and
look,
shoot.
I knew it was going to be a long day, and I didn't want somebody who's very inexperienced and has no knowledge to be flipping around with a gun in their hand, and the rest of us die. So, but And talking about the being able to carry it without a permit, I have a lot of issues with that, but only because I used to hold a federal firearms license. I used to own a gun store. I used to have people come in that had no knowledge. I would like to have seen where they were required to at least take a safety course, something.
Well,
That's just me then.
Now, here's the other thing. I can go at age 18.
Mm-hmm.
I can go to the gun store. It's my 18th birthday. I've never fired a gun in my life. And I don't have to wait for daddy to say it's okay or mama to come along. I can go drive my car over there, or drive their car over there because it's probably not mine. I drive their car over there and I go in with $300 and I say, I want me a cool looking shotgun because I don't want one of those really expensive guns. I want that one with that sawed off barrel. Well, they're not sawed off; they're manufactured that way, and they may have, instead of an 18-inch barrel, or a 30-inch barrel, they may have a 20-inch barrel, and it may have a pump action on it. Oh God, I can get that. That looks just like the cops have. Well, sometimes it looks just like the cops have. I wonder if that should make that illegal. A so-called riot gun, what we used to call riot guns, a full stock 12-gauge shotgun with an 18 or 20-inch barrel. If the barrel is 18 inches, it's perfectly legal if the overall length of that gun is 26 inches. That's federal laws, by the way. That's not state law. But I want that. Does that, and an 18-inch barrel gun?
Is that the long barrel gun?
That's the short barrel.
Oh.
Barrel gun. 18 inches is the minimum legal length of a barrel for a rifle.
All the reporters, mass of them from the shooting in New York, are talking about law enforcement having out their long barrel rifles.
They don't know the difference in a long gun and a shotgun or a rifle. Long barreled rifles. No. Again, when you don't know what you're talking about, shut up. Or go find somebody that does, or study it. It's a Google away. It's a Google search away to decide what the difference between an M4 carbine and M4, and just Google it right now if you want to. I haven't, but Google it, M4 versus M16. And then look and see what the differences are.
Google Queen?
She will.
Okay.
She'll know.
Well, do we even know for sure what it was that he had?
Because the mayor said it was an M4.
The police commissioner said that first night when they did that.
Oh, Ripper's not sure she's even been in law enforcement.
I don't know whether she's.
I'm not sure she's even.
Or not.
Yeah, exactly.
And even if they had, I had the sheriff. I had a photographer to drive back up. They had a big shootout in Brunswick County, and my photographer, and he was a gun guy too, but he was not that kind of a gun guy. He just liked to shoot. He came flying in there, and he had video of the sheriff's interview and the then sheriff of Brunswick County, and he was a good old boy. I mean, these guys had AK-47s.
I'm so tired of hearing about these
AK-47, and he's holding up. And this is an AK-40. I mean, they like to show off their gun. They're fine, right?
Right.
AK-47. I said, Chris. And I stopped the producer who was writing the story. I said, it's not an AK-47. I said, AK-47. I said, Chris, it's not an AK-47. Now we're going to prove a point, and I'm going to make the sheriff, who was a decent guy, until he started doing bad things and ended up dying in jail. No, a long story. But anyway, I said, y'all continue writing the story. You can call it an SKS, Sierra Kilo Sierra. And I'll be right back. And I went home and I brought me a Russian SKS back. It is a military weapon, but it's not an AK-47. Doesn't look, those who know it's not an AK-47. Right. They know the difference. They shoot the same bullet. It's kind of like, except they're both, it's kind of like the Ruger Mini 14 firing the 223 or 5.56 round that the AR-15s fire, same bullet. Mm-hmm. These fired the same bullet. I've got two of them up there that fire that bullet. One's a Russian. One is an American made that I had built for me that fires the same bullet because I like that bullet better than I do the 223 or 5.56. And I had to bring it in there. So we did a sidebar story on it, the two weapons, his picture of the weapon and my gun, and shooting him. And the sheriff, you're stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. We did it as a further explanation because they found the 7.62 by 39 spent cases there at the scene and the rifle. And he made the assumption, because he never knew. He was never military. He had not a clue what an AK-47 was, except that he fired that particular bullet. That's not the only one that fires that bullet, Sheriff, the late sheriff. So, I can't count on the mayor or the police commissioner or anybody up there know what an M4 is.
Well,
We had, as I repeated yesterday, we had a retired police detective, I think he was, anyway, longtime police officer, being an expert on Fox News, admitted, he says, you're going to ask me about this M4. He says, I don't know any more about the M4. I barely knew what I carried, police issued gun. I barely knew the information about that gun. I knew how to shoot it. That was all. Why are you an expert? Why would Fox News call you up here as an expert? Because they pay me.
Yeah.
That's why.
Well, let me mention something, if I can.
On another topic, I hope.
Yes, on a very, very nice topic, our veterans. As we close out the month of July, we are about 4 months away or so from Wreaths Across America's wreath laying ceremony on December the 13th. For our local cemeteries, that would be the Coastal Carolina State Veteran Cemetery and also Memorial Park. We are currently at about 1,872 wreaths. We need 8,500 wreaths total to cover both cemeteries. Our wreaths honoring our fallen veterans group, of which I'm the coordinator of. We're going out strong now to do everything. We've actually gone out of the county to some big companies to try to get their help. Just because we're just not getting any more local support. The people have been great. The citizens have been great. Whether they've had people, our friend down in Florida, the CPA,
True,
has done it. Our friend Debbie down in Surf City, CPA, she's done it.
we have somebody in Wilmington too, didn't we?
I see her today. Yeah, she's from Wilmington.
Yeah.
Debbie's from Wilmington.
Yeah, tell Debbie thank you again. But we're just, $17, and to the businesses, $340. You could cover 2 rows. $300. That's less than $500. You're still not even going to need a W-9, and we'll give you one because it's a 501c. But folks, the deadline. My deadline now is November 1st. Don't wait till December 1st. It's just going to be too much. A military town. It's embarrassing. Sorry, it is. It's embarrassing.
Chris and his wife, Kathy, that one. They've been working diligently, and they've done a great job. With your help, they've done a wonderful job, and far surpassing what's been done in the past at this point in time. Right?
Yes.
However, we're 2/3 of the way there. From time-wise, we've already spent 2/3 of this year. Think about it. Since they kicked off this season, they spent 2/3 of this year. It's gone. But they're only, 1,700.
We got 1,800.
1,800
So
out of
8,500.
8,500. I can't do the math on that one right now, but it's about 20%. If I'm
That's
doing
about
it in my head.
Yeah.
So only about 20% there, and we're 68% through the year. So we got a lot of stuff to get done to make up for those extra ones.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you want to tell somebody in California who cannot get here, who has someone over there that's going to be basically in an unmarked, unrecognized, unadorned, lonely grave with no one here to take care of them, are you going to tell them that they don't matter? It's not worth $17 for us to take care of them.
And that was something that someone talked to me about the other night. They said, we really honor, we want to honor our veterans. The things we're doing, we're honoring our veterans. And I understand we're honoring our living veterans.
We do that.
But we don't have the right, we don't have the freedom to do this talk show if it hadn't been for these people who fought World War I, World War II, the Korean War, Vietnam, Afghanistan. It's just, I just don't know how people in this in this town, to be specific, can't understand what these people that are laying in rest meant and mean to this to this.
If I was you hate to put it on the active duty folks, because they don't get, those young guys don't get a whole lot of money in the first place. No. And they got young families they have to take care of. I understand $17 is a chunk of change for them.
Sure it is.
Unless they go to the bar. But then it's chump change. But that's their privilege. That's what they've earned the right to do. It's okay. I'm not dissing you for that. No. I don't blame you. Go. But instead of going 7 nights a week, go 1 night a week. Well, instead of go 7 nights a week, go 6 nights a week. And buy a wreath. Do that. Or but when you get above the rank of lieutenant and above, there are a bunch of them out there at Camp Lejeune.
Oh yeah,
New River Air Station.
Yeah,
most of them out at the air station. All of them who fly those little birds out there that we see, those ospreys and stuff. All of them are the rank of lieutenant or above, right?
Most of them. Yeah.
I don't think any warrant officers fly, do they?
No.
Not Marine Corps.
No.
They may, but I know some do it in the Army or have. But they fly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're officers. I think 5 wreaths, less than $100, will go a long ways. And every wreath that for $17, $5 extra goes into the kitty to buy more wreaths.
Yeah.
Is that still right?
Yes. Yes.
Hello.
It's just anyway. I just wanted to throw that out there because I know we said December 1st. That's the cutoff for
to get the order in.
To get the orders in, so that the wreaths can be made and get shipped here by December 4th. Well, they're going to be here before December 14th, probably around the 10th to the 12th.
There's a lot of work got to be done once that order goes in.
Oh yeah, they got to make them. They got to make the wreath. They're handmade.
Yeah. You let's don't wait any longer. Let's get her done now. And for you guys out there at the car dealerships, when you sell a car today, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, take $17 out of your pocket for each one of those days, because you're getting a commission on a new car.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you're getting a decent commission on it. I know you need it because there are days you don't get anything, but if you sell a car a day for 4 days a week,
you can get your. I had the
that's
privilege.
$68, people.
Those salesmen make
healthy
commission.
and the dealership is
right.
A lot of people may not understand this, and I'm not saying anything that they probably don't know. Maybe built into those prices on the cars are marketing,
yes,
donations, things like it's not just it's just
commission.
Not for the 4 wheels and the steering wheel and stuff like that.
Actually, a dealership can take that $17 off of every car they sell that's sold at that dealership. They can take that off as on one of their line items on their budget. And those things that are on the budget are what they call tax deductible.
Yeah, I love this. Oh, we really knocked it down really far for you, and we're going to throw in this and that, and you're getting a deal. I'm like, okay.
And if you give, and I'm sure you could come up with something, they could come up with something to sell. Every car that they buy, I want you to also know, Mr. Brand new car buyer, that we have donated a wreath
in your
honor.
Yeah.
And here's a certificate to show that what you have done, what we have done for you.
We'll create them. I'm actually meeting somebody at one of the credit unions today to give them a packet because they live down in Carolina Beach. They're going to start trying to help. We got all these places around Onslow County that want to help, and none of the businesses in Onslow County seem to want to help. But we're going to go back to them one more time, and hopefully we'll get that goal. But one of our biggest supporters. Do you know who it is?
Live and local.
There you go. If it wasn't for this show, we couldn't get the word out as often as we can, and we thank you both for that, and Kelly.
Absolutely,
for giving us that time.
Kelly's done tremendous herself. She and Robin have they got reasons to do it too.
Yeah, they have family over there. Lee's my dad are over there. There's just a lot of people over there, and Rayford, you hit a good point. The people that maybe in California
they
now
can't come here.
And when we did a television interview, they did not know that Onslow Memorial Park has 1,500 veterans over there.
Yes, the old Jacksonville's city cemetery has veterans.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so all I can do
that's what my dad has.
Yeah, we'll get one over there.
Yeah, no, I'll buy one. I'll buy a bunch.
It's just
What do you want some?
as I put on Facebook, because I have to use that as a medium to get the word out. I'm begging now. I'm begging for people.
Yeah, we're down to the short wire here.
So please help us.
Not real long. Come on, just reach out to Chris or Kathy. You can go online. You can find the information about it. But if online, nice and easy, and that website is.
Yeah, they could go to. They could just look up Reese Across America, Jacksonville. Go into groups and look for Reese Honoring Our Fallen Veterans. It's the very first group that'll pop up on the page of all the other groups, and it'll let you view and sponsor. If you view, you'll see how many we have. We are actually 28 Reese short. Our group, your group, everybody's group. We're 28 short of 1,000. So of the 1,800, this group has done almost 1,000 of them.
Okay, we got to get her done.
Get her done,
y'all.
Get her
done. Get her done. And school is about 2 weeks away.
2 weeks away. Yeah. First ball game is
August 22nd.
West Carteret.
Yeah.
At
Jacksonville, which is good. You remember going to West Carteret doing football games, and the mosquitoes are about. Oh yeah.
We went.
Those are hummingbirds disguised as mosquitoes.
Yeah, I think we went to West Carteret last year. Didn't we? Wasn't that one of the last games
Probably.
we played? I don't remember.
I was on the road. Okay, hot and humid. Yeah, gonna be here. They're gonna be here for a while. Right now it's 99% humidity in the backyard here. 76 degrees in the backyard. Up just a little bit. Offshore out to 20 nautical miles today. Southeasterly winds 5 to 10 knots, 2 foot sea, sounds and rivers a light chop. Pretty much the same thing tomorrow. Southwesterly winds 5 to 10, 2 footer, sounds and rivers a light chop. And on Friday, southwesterly winds again a little bit more, a little bit bumpier, 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4, sounds and rivers a moderate chop.
And today will be mostly sunny with a high near 93 and a 103 heat index value and a chance of late afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 75. Thursday, partly sunny with a high near 90 with showers and thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. And Friday, a chance of showers and thunderstorms with a high near 91. Cold front.
My foot.
Cold front. When it drops from 98 to 100 to 91, that is a cold front.
Okay, I'm going to do something a little bit light here. It's the only thing light that I've got that I could find.
Okay.
It's actually on a news site. They're going kind of look. There's a mayor. He's going way overboard. He's a mayor of a town in France. He's getting stupid. He's located beside the sea. He's telling his police to fine violators of a dress code law $175 on the spot. Yep, His Honor at the town beside the sea has decreed that you cannot be topless and you cannot wear a bathing suit while walking around his town.
Back to this again.
Cannot wear You cannot wear a bathing suit and you cannot be topless or naked if you're walking around his town. In other words, cover up or pay up. He's ordering locals and visitors alike that he takes their half-naked appearance seriously and will protect those who don't want to witness the nakedness. I think that's a new word.
I'm telling you, right, if you investigate this guy right now, you're going to find out he's a pedophile.
He added that it's a matter of public hygiene in the markets, the businesses, and alleys. The alleys. Hygiene and alleys are not two words that you generally put together, okay? In the city of Les Sables d'Olonne.
Should have known. Go ahead.
The slogan is that respect does not go on holiday. That's what the mayor says. Lee, you better go ahead and cancel your flight or buy a hazmat suit. There are 7 miles of beaches available to do what you want. You just can't do it in town. When you leave the sands for the pavement and the asphalt and the cement, you better cover up. Those mesh cover-up things, they don't count.
They don't?
What?
No.
What?
Those net
covering, yeah.
Those net things up just little tiny areas at a time. Not enough, says the mayor. $175. Pay up or cover up, y'all. That's what it's going to cost you.
That's where you need to get those printed long T-shirts that have the naked body printed on them. You know,
What?
have you seen the T-shirts
Apparently not.
I was going.
that they'll have like the women's breast, waist, hips printed naked on the T-shirt?
If it ain't three-dimensional, it doesn't work for
Well, the
me.
thing about it is they're not naked. How would he feel
Well,
about that?
let me just go one step further then. Legally speaking,
Legally speaking.
if you do a body paint
Yeah, here we go.
from the neck down or head to toe, there is a thin layer of substance, a material, it's called dried paint,
Mm-hmm.
between.
I have the answer.
Okay.
It's not clothing. Go ahead.
It doesn't say clothing. It says cover up. I want to see. I want to see the person with one of those mesh net looking cover up things. Just wear that to the beach one day and get a sunburn. Can you imagine the tan lines for that thing? That would be weird.
Let's see. So this mayor.
Yeah,
Okay, so it's $175 fine
on the spot.
on the spot. What if you don't pay it? What do you go to jail?
Or they take your clothes
You would probably be the hit.
and they take your clothes in jail. Did you know
Sorry.
that? Yeah.
Yeah, but they give you an orange suit. Well, here in Onslow County, it's orange.
It'd be probably chartreuse there in France.
Well, this poor mayor would
Or
have
pink.
a coronary if he went out and sat on the beaches.
He probably
Go out.
in France, any beach in France on the seashores, he would have a coronary
Right.
if he's like that.
You can see it good out there to Surf City or North Topsail because some of these outfits that
North Topsail?
some of these women wear,
Uh-huh.
they might as well be naked. And then the guys,
There
when
you
they
go.
come
Okay.
out in
Thank
their
you.
teeny little Speedos, I'm like,
That
I'm sorry, but a guy does not need to wear a Speedo.
910.
What you trying to tell him to take them off?
No, they just, I don't
We
know.
want you guys to take your Speedos off.
I
Leave them
don't-
up there on.
I can't see any man looking good in a Speedo.
I don't care what they're wearing. They don't look good to me.
I have sadly visions down in Punta Cana of men in their 80s that were wearing it. Yeah.
They just looked in their 80s. That's because of the sun damage.
It's just.
And they
And some of the
have-
women the same way.
Their tan, wrinkled body in a Speedo with the gold chain around their neck. Am I right? Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't take any pictures.
No, but I'm just saying.
I thank you for that.
But
How
I'm
about
telling you
Kathy?
now,
Did she take pictures?
She's a
Women-
Marine.
Okay, Kathy. I know.
women aren't.
910-333-0139. We're talking fashions
I
now.
told you I was a lack of fashion. I told you I was going to lighten it up just a little bit.
Started it,
But
yes.
down in Jamaica was famous or infamous or whatever. So the
Right.
beaches there, like I say, I did a little cheat sheet. 67% of the women that came there were topless. Well, I would take a guess when they were coming down, when we're just sitting there on the beach. There's a guy, he's an Austrian publisher of a newspaper, in fact.
It's Steve.
And he and I we were sitting there and we're making fun of people, right? And we would try to guess, because they don't come down topless until they get to the beach.
Yeah.
Then they get rid of tops and whatever. One-piece suits, it didn't matter. They had a way of doing things, but we would take a guess. And there was one that came down there, oh, it's school marms. There's no way. Oh, yeah, she is. And then she rolled the top down and folded it up around her waist for a one-piece suit. Why? I don't know. Strange.
we may have some help here, because I may refer to Steve in a nice way as our resident beach bum, because he's on the pier.
Yeah.
And he gets this. I'm sure Steve sees a lot of
I
this.
understand, Steve, that at one time when they decided that they weren't going to allow thongs on the beach, that you were assigned to measure the width of those thongs to make sure they were legal. Is that right, Steve?
Yeah.
Ironically, I did have a T-shirt at one time that said "official bikini inspector."
How did I know?
Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna say I never got the T-shirt. I did get the T-shirt.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I had to break this serious crap that's going around. There's still more out there, and I hate to even go back to it, but anyway. So say it me.
I got you. I wanted to comment on what y'all were talking about, people wearing hoodies in the summertime, and it was funny y'all brought that up.
Uh-huh.
On Monday, I was at the Tractor Supply, and there was a gentleman in there that had on a black hoodie and had the hood on. And immediately it set my senses off. My adrenaline started flowing, you know?
Yeah.
And so I observed him at that point to see if he was watching or shopping. You know, because you know criminals are going to be watching. They ain't shopping.
They act like they're shopping.
Right. Well, but they're looking around a lot more at everybody else and their products. You know, but anyway, I noticed this person had purpose. They were going through and they were shopping. So I kind of just, you know, blew it off, and they actually got in line behind me when I was checking out or whatever. But so I didn't think nothing of it after that, because, you know, they didn't act suspicious. I figured they were just dumb. And, you know, but anyway, I left there and I went to the Lowe's. And went in there, and I seen the same person in there with the hoodie on, still had the hood up, and they were purchasing 2 big floor fans. And at that point, I was like, "This person is really young, because they know it's hot outside. They're in here buying fans, but they still got the hood up."
All right, you get the award of the day. That is the funniest.
I know he probably felt bad, because he seen me the second time, and I looked at him and started laughing and shaking my head and just walked by.
How ironic.
Well, you do know that I would have approached him on the second go around. I said, I saw you with Tractor Supply. I saw you with a hoodie on. I said, well, I thought maybe the air conditioner was so hot. But you're buying fans over here, and you're wearing this hoodie. Can you help me out with this? I mean, I would have done it because I can get away with it. I'm old.
Yeah. I found that person was somewhat mentally challenged on some level, and I probably just needed to walk on by.
Yeah, that is funny.
But yeah, when y'all brought that up this morning, I was like, I got to share that story, because that was funny to me, and I'm sure y'all would appreciate it.
You got the ironic award of the day.
Yes.
Well, maybe we'll find somebody to top it. I doubt it.
Hey guys, I want to comment on something else too, right quick, and I don't really want to get in deep on the Epstein thing, but there's something crossed my mind, the math of something crossed my mind, and it kind of struck me as funny and odd at the same time. Senators have came out and said that they the administration had 1,000 FBI agents go through these files looking for anywhere that the president's name may appear. Okay, so taking that with a grain of salt, I kind of believe it, but you know, everything's subject these days. But anyway, if you got 1,000 agents and they're working 24 hours a day for 14 days, which is what the report was, First off, it ain't gonna be 1,000 agents 24 hours a day. You got 2 12-hour shifts, so you got 500 agents working 12-hour shifts. So that's going to be a 12,000 man hours a day.
Yeah.
Okay, and then over 10 days, that's going to be 120,000 man hours. When you go 14 days, you're looking at around 160 to 170,000 man hours. FBI agents on salary, but they make roughly about $20 an hour. So you're talking $3.2 million that American taxpayers spent to go through those files to see if Trump's name was in there. If they would have just released the files in a week, the media would have done that for free.
Absolutely.
That's what I wanted to say about that.
I cannot argue with the math or the
Logic.
total logic. Here's the other thing. You know, in this day of these things called blankety blank, because I've got 3 of them in here, 2 of them are not working right. Computers.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how easy scanning is with this kind of stuff? How many pages were there? 5,000 pages, 10,000? I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
You stick them in a machine and you program the software on that computer to go and look for. I mean, Google does it. Facebook does it. If you don't believe it, go ahead and type in some certain words and let me know what you get. Okay? It will pick up Trump every time. It'll pick up in. You feed those pieces of paper into the machine, and yes, it's a machine, and it comes out the other end, and the software over there say, ding, ding, got one. Ding, ding, got one. Ding, ding. It will pick it up. So this man hours of doing it, I don't know who's trying to fool whom, but if we got that much time to waste with man hours that could be out there looking for this guy in Arkansas that killed a man and his wife, and then the 2 kids are there. If he did that, if they would send them to Cincinnati, where I'm going to go there next, by the way, because I got mad last night. I got physically mad, and I was virtually mean. Glad my wife was not home in Cincinnati last Friday night, and I'm still not understanding it. All I'm doing is watching the video. Okay. If we would send 1,000 agents there in 24 hours, those problems would be resolved. Likely. They could comb every corner of Arkansas.
Likely.
You understand?
Yeah.
Let's try to put them out there fighting crime. Feed the stuff into a computer, artificial intelligence.
Something about the process. I was going to say something about the process I'd like to throw out there is they most certainly use the program to go in and flag.
You know they do.
I mean, your phone will do that. If you search through your emails, you can type in a word and it'll show you every email where that name was in an email.
Yes.
So what happens? The next step is if you do that and you come out with like 10,000 hits out of that file that name appeared, then somebody has to go through in each one of those points and see what it was about.
Okay, let's say it goes 10,000 hits.
That's why I think the man hours come in.
You got 10,000 hits and you got 1,000 agents. That's 10 hits per agent. That'll take me 32 minutes.
Arbitrary numbers. It could have been 50,000.
Whatever.
I don't know.
So, So I want to ask you this, Steve. So we'll say that the file is released. Here you go. Here's the file, and they hand it to every senator. They hand it to every House of Representative. How many of those do you actually think is going to read?
None.
That?
They're just going to look for the name, scan right through it.
No, but how many of them are actually going to do it?
In all honesty, I think just a handful would actually read it. Then they would be a little bit larger group that would have an assistant or somebody read it for them and give them a summary. And then there's going to be a big group that just discounts it and won't read it right out the gate.
Yeah. Well, there's also that same thing. We've got bills that are written, introduced, managed to get through their committees and yada yada that are up there, and they don't get voted on because they have to come back time and again and again and again and again. And we'll put it off to next session. My God, we're still working on 1972 General Assembly. We don't have the stuff that they discussed in 1972 handled yet. It's still pending. It's an exaggeration, but you'll understand what I mean.
It's not an example.
Yeah, probably not, but we just don't get stuff done, and we're paying them to do it. Why do we need them to do something like this? Scan it, be done with it.
I mean, he came out, Steve. I don't know if you heard this last night on why Trump and Epstein had this separation 20 years ago, because Epstein went to Trump's Mar-a-Lago and hired away his spa staff and whatever. I could really
Shark
care.
food.
I could care less, but I think, Steve, to Rayford's point, I agree. There's so many bills, and I know I harp on this one, but I have to. How long has that bill up there for one set time for the United States?
Since 1968, when they adopted it.
And it takes like, what, 5 minutes to vote yay or nay?
Mm-hmm. It won't even come to the floor for a vote, will it? Has it come up for a vote in the full Senate or House?
Well, North Carolina's passed it, but no.
It's going to be difficult for North Carolina to stand alone on something like this. We got Arizona now and Hawaii. And there may be one other state that's on standard time year round.
Yeah, there's states, there's states that have passed it, but it doesn't go into effect until it becomes federal law.
Yeah,
that's who's not getting the job done. But it's a lot of other things because of these things, Steve, that we're talking about. And it's just not this Epstein case. It goes back to JFK, goes back to MLK. Just release the stuff and let everybody make their opinions at that point.
Yeah, the media would wiggle itself to death, so that would be okay.
I don't know, what would become of it. It's puzzling that, we know so little about this, honestly.
Yeah. And we're not going to know anything more in 15 years. I won't be here.
Just let me mention I'm sorry, Steve. It's real quick.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Steve. I didn't mean to. You go ahead. You called. We appreciate it.
That's okay. I was going to say the part that kind of baffles me a little bit is none of these people clean their own houses. None of these people cut their own grass.
Yep. Good point.
Where's the 60 minutes expose with talking to the staff? I mean, how this hasn't, already came out, hasn't already, exploded is puzzling in itself, because there's so many low-level people that are involved in these people's lives,
60
They didn't
minutes.
fly their own planes. They didn't make their own drinks. They didn't clean their own toilets.
60 minutes is only about 12 minutes long now, as far as content is concerned. It used to be 60 minutes.
Amen.
We don't have 60 minutes anymore.
I don't really.
But none of them had the content. You sit down. If you were like me, I used to have to keep track of my content and find out what was in my shows. Something as simple as a 30-minute news show. I had to break it down as to everything from commercials to public service announcements to what types of stories. And then I have research over here. I don't think these people do that kind of research anymore.
No.
I had research that showed me what the people in my listening viewing area, what they considered important to them. And guess what? They didn't care about entertainment news. They didn't care about lost dogs unless that lost dog got hurt or was brought back to life, like we got one at a fire. Fireman brought him back to life. They cared about that.
Right.
I made the top of the list.
So,
but other stuff, no, not so much. So I had to fix my newscast, tailor it to my audience. Nobody else does that in the country anymore, apparently.
No, but see, Steve, I want to throw this out to Congress. I guess is subpoenaed Maxwell. That's what I call her. It's just Maxwell.
Yeah. G. Let's call her G.
G.
No G.
GM. And
G.
She has thrown, or her lawyers have said, okay, well, she'll testify under these conditions: immunity. She won't do it in the prison or at the location she's currently being held at, and she's going to wait until after the Supreme Court makes their ruling on her.
She's going to get out early. Mark my words.
She's trying to look cooperative without being cooperative.
Yeah.
That's kind of obvious. And even if she just refuses to show up, then all the House of Representatives do is refer to the Justice Department, and then Pam Bondi has to charge her with it.
Yeah.
If she comes, if she agrees, first of all, do you think for a split second that say, okay, I'll agree to testify before Congress, and I want the rest of the time that I've got in prison, I want it half of it spent in a country club setting. The other half I want to be removed. I want to be cut it in half. Whatever I've got left, cut it in half. And the time I've got left, I want to be in a country club setting, and I get to walk around amongst normal people during the day. I come back at nighttime with my bracelet on, and then I'll just stay here overnight. And my pillows will be fluffed, and I want that little chocolate thing on my pillow every night. Yes, okay, we'll agree to that. Now go ahead and testify. What can you tell us about Donald Trump or Prince Andrew or the Queen of England? What can you tell us about their association with Epstein? Well, I don't really know anything about that. Huh? What? Huh?
I'm just so tired.
I mean, I wouldn't trust her as far as you could throw her.
No.
I've heard a Republican senator, I guess it was one it was, and he said, you don't trust her testimony, obviously, but if she provides something that leads to physical evidence, that's a different story.
Do you think she's going to do that?
I don't know. I really I have no idea. I tell you, I tried to game this out, and because Trump has come out and said that what was in that file is fake, I would think that means that the Supreme Court is going to have to at very least give her a retrial, because that is evidence that the government had that they did not provide to her before her trial.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty clear cut. You get a retrial. The government possibly withheld evidence that would have exonerated you. Trump don't want her to do another trial.
That evidence would have to be presented to the Supreme Court before they could rule on it. It's not just the fact that Donald Trump may have said it or anybody else said it. Show us, and then we will make our decisions.
And I agree, that's possible as well. But he has definitely given her some meat to work with.
Yeah.
By coming out and saying that all that stuff that they used against her was false.
I don't know whether you ever sat on any appeals for people wanting new trials or not. I haven't been in the courtroom during the time, but that's what they ended up doing. Here's the evidence that the state did not show that would have proven that my client was not guilty, or they did not have enough proof to prove that my client was guilty, yada, yada, yada. They will go and try that, but they have to present it. They have to show the appeals court this information.
I was going to say, in that scenario, they found the evidence. It wasn't the Justice Department didn't come out and announce it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is I guess a little bit unique in the way it's happened. That the president is the one that's disputing the evidence that was used against her.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have to have some kind of trial where they can subpoena that evidence. Whatever he's saying shows that that was fake file. They now have to get a subpoena to make them give them that evidence. They didn't find it. They don't actually have it. It's just that the Justice Department and the president is claiming that it's fake.
You mean that the same president that has called every newscast that disagrees with him fake news?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I'm fully on page with you on that. Yeah, I'm fully
sorry.
on board with you there. Yeah.
I cannot give him any more credibility for anything that he says, period, bottom line.
Right.
Would you trust him at a golf game? Would you
Yeah.
trust him at a golf game to count his own score? I'm sorry.
He never loses.
Did you see the video of him cheating this weekend?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I was wondering if you brought it up.
I'm just saying, he's a politician. All right, Steve.
Yeah.
We got to run.
I got you.
Have a blessed day, Steve.
Yeah, you too, bye.
Take care, Steve.
I do want to touch on Cincinnati because I'm glad I had this 20 minutes of levity here because I needed it. And because I've been mad ever since last night when I started watching and I know it was happening. I saw it but I've been playing with I have been having consultations with a couple of computers since last Saturday, and I did not have a chance to go delve very deeply into pretty much anything that had gone on. And Cincinnati and a crowd, and it's labeled as a brawl, did not catch a lot of my attention just on the surface. And then suddenly I was up on my 65-inch TV screen while I'm trying to watch something else, and then there's a news thing that popped up. Okay, this was about the tsunami. And then after the tsunami thing came up, then it went to another newscast about Cincinnati. And I said, oh, what's this all about? I had no idea. I really had no idea how vicious people
Crazy.
look under other conditions. I did not know that they could look normal walking among us, looking cool, dressing nice. I had no idea how vicious. I should have known how vicious women can be, but I did not know how vicious that they were in Cincinnati last Friday night.
Yeah.
I don't know what started all of it. I don't care. Okay? Media's labeled it a brawl. The police chief, female, labeled it a brawl. This was not a brawl. It was a beatdown.
Mm-hmm.
There were multiple people on one person, an older guy, an older woman. I watched men and women kicked, beaten on the ground, stomped in the head while they were on the ground by a crowd of vicious two-legged thugs. One unconscious woman laying there, unconscious now, is gone, virtually dragged away from the frenzied crowd of men and women, people with no sense of humanity whatsoever. I would have called them animals, but I've never met an animal except sharks in a feeding frenzy that acted like this. Mean. I did not know how this melee got started. I don't know what or what could. And it was along racial lines. Then I got reports that the police in Cincinnati were told it wasn't too serious and they should just not engage themselves, don't get up close and personal. While people were being beaten, unconscious, kicked in the face, kneed in the head by a woman.
Saw that.
Then I got sick and I got mad.
It was.
I got really mad. This is sickening.
Another woman pulled her up out of the street and
Yeah.
got her out of there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just.
Whoever at the top of that law enforcement food chain should be indicted by federal authorities. Forget one state, forget the local city council or anybody else. There should be federal indictments against her in this case. Any of Cincinnati's political leaders who have not demanded accountability or who sided with the upper echelon of the police department should be removed by force if necessary and run out of town on a rail wearing an outer covering of tar and feathers. This was not a brawl. I've seen brawls. I've been involved in brawls. Free for all, everybody fighting, punching, doing whatever.
Mhm.
This was a mob beatdown. The victims were way outnumbered. No place to run, no place to hide. Given the video, if even one of those victims had pulled a weapon and started shooting those dangerous pukes, it would have been totally justified. Because they were being hurt to the point of attempted murder. The people who were kicking a man in the face, that's assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill, as far as I'm concerned. In North Carolina, you add inflicting serious bodily injury to it. How much physical or mental damage are these victims of this beatdown going to suffer for the rest of their lives? Huh? You ever been knocked unconscious? Huh? People who get hit in the head get knocked unconscious. Sometimes it's a while coming back and getting all your faculties back together. Only 2 people were arrested by the cops, 34-year-old Montanez Merriweather and 24-year-old Decra Vernon have been popped, though the police won't say what they're charged with. No doubt, given what I'm seeing, it's likely going to be some stupid misdemeanor when assault with intent to kill would be appropriate. Kicking anyone in the head repeatedly is dangerous.
It is.
From 2 hours ago, they were charged with felonious assault and aggravated riot.
think they
charged.
just arrested
No
another
assault
one.
with intent to kill or assault inflicting serious bodily injury.
Nope.
What do you tell that poor woman laying there unconscious? What do you tell that guy that got
Bleeding from the mouth,
knee to the face,
internal.
kicked in the head? What do you tell those guys? Oh, that's just a felonious assault.
I agree with you, Reverend. Once again,
Why did no one but one person out of all those people call 911 when this
Yeah.
is going
all
on?
the people
One person.
videoing the whole
Yeah,
thing,
this-
only
Yeah.
one stopped to call 911.
And
Just
what
like
did-
Chris
and how
said.
long did it take to get there? According to the video, a long time. A
I
long
don't
time.
know.
At 3 a.m. in the morning? That's
You should have known it was happening in your neighborhood if you were a beat cop. You should have gotten some inkling. Okay, what's going on over there? There's a crowd of people. I hear screaming. I mean, what's happening? No.
And what's really sad is political influencers are now trying to jump into the middle of it, making it all racial. Why don't y'all just sit at home and watch and read a good book? You know, I mean, this was a fight that turned into a brawl that
It was black on white
I don't
crime that was occurring.
I don't know who started what.
I don't
or
care.
why it happened, but let's not get political.
Look how
on this.
bad we are. Look how bad we are. We really kicked that guy's butt. Did you see us kick that guy's butt? Yeah, I saw 4 of you going over there to kick this guy's butt. You understand? You ain't bad. It took 4 of you to beat up an old man. You're
It's
puke.
just
You're a
crazy.
puke. And that's the best that I can say about you. Your mama was probably a puke too.
there's too much hate in the world.
There is.
My Lord.
Yeah.
And that was some of the most hatred things that I've seen. And to be unresolved, the police should have been there within seconds,
Yeah.
not hours or however long it took them to get there. But they had orders not to get involved. It was just a fight. It was just a brawl. A brawl. A brawl. You describe that. Look at this in detail and describe that to me as a brawl sometime and let me know.
Mhm.
You want a brawl? Uh-huh. Do not be surprised if that's the kind of action or lack of action that the Cincinnati police are going to take, that if somebody on the other side, friends of the victims,
Mhm.
relatives of the victims, are not walking the streets carrying things like that pickaxe handle over there. Do you want to see a brawl? No, they'll all be arrested for assault with a deadly weapon.
I'd like to know where all the attorneys are to represent these two people.
Talk about suits.
Yeah.
There should be suits. You won't ever get anything, but at least that they ever make anything of themselves. Here's the thing about civil suits, y'all. You sue somebody and they don't have a nickel. They don't have that pot to pee in, as they used to say. They don't have anything today. That suit is good for, depends upon what state you're in, maybe 5 years. But you still got to pay it if you ever get anything. But then that can be renewed at the end of that time. And it can be renewed again. It can be renewed again. So for your future, if you ever get enough to buy yourself a brand new car and you owe me money, I can come get it.
Mm-hmm.
And I will. I'll leave you penniless. I'll leave you on the streets with nothing.
Well, let's not forget in this whole scenario, there was a lot of alcohol involved and intoxication.
There's the greatest excuse in the world. Alcohol, dope, and a woman.
Alcohol, dope, and a man.
That's what men use as an excuse. Is alcohol,
But you
dope, and a
know,
woman.
The actual first punch was thrown by a guy that was intoxicated, got into verbal altercation, walked away, but there were some racial comments made. I mean, but this guy came back 15 minutes later. He should have never come back. I mean, you got all these things playing into it.
First of all, if I throw a punch and I walk away, I ain't coming back.
That's right.
Oh,
Didn't you say, Chris, 3
One
o'clock
and
in the
done.
morning?
yeah, 3 a.m.
But
Yeah, they all should have been home.
everybody should
Got
have
their
been-
Ubers and gone home.
A lot of lawmen are still looking for a man who killed a married couple in Arkansas over the weekend. State police are circulating a composite sketch of the man they're hunting. 43-year-old Clinton Brink and his 41-year-old wife, Kristen, found dead Saturday afternoon on a walking trail in Devil's Den State Park. Their young daughters, 9 and 7, witnessed it, uninjured, and are safe with family members. Thank God for that.
Mhm.
And Investigators say the bad guy may have been injured. I don't know how that came about, but I'm sure that whatever occurred, there may have been some punches swung. He was also seen driving toward a park exit in a black four-door sedan, possibly a Mazda, with tape covering the license plate. The tape indicates to me this was premeditated. He went there with a plan of action, whether it was for this couple or for somebody else or just for jollies. I do not know. But
I agree.
This indicates this was not an unplanned event. He wasn't up there just hiking and decided to hurt somebody. In this case, kill him.
Well, we're still waiting and we're still looking for Travis Decker out of Washington State that killed his 3 daughters.
Yeah.
During a scheduled visit that he had with them.
There are just people out there who do not deserve to spend a day in prison.
When I heard what happened in Arkansas, I'm thinking, is this Travis has traveled to Arkansas now? I mean,
why would he? Well, they got a composite drawing of him. They can compare that to Decker's face. Who knows? I don't know. I've seen mean people before. But some people are just flat mean, just ultra mean.
Well, we all are blessed with the opportunity to choose good or evil. Which way do we want to go?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You may have, like they're saying about the guy in New York, or these idiots.
You're being kind.
Yeah, well, yeah, trying to, but
calling them idiots is being kind.
Barbarians. But and ultimately, I don't know why people aren't choosing more of the good versus the evil.
You're such a nice person. I will not choose you for the firing squad for the guest of honor. How's that?
Okay.
You'd be aiming up in the air and you'd hit a bird.
Wait a minute, let me think.
Peter would come after you.
Let me just
without a
think
license.
about this. Let me just think about it. As of 8:02 a.m. this morning, the entire U.S. West Coast is facing still a tsunami threat.
Clean up aisle 7.
After an 8.8 magnitude earthquake erupted off of Russia's eastern coast.
How many surfers are out there waiting for this?
Do
you think about it?
Just they're out there.
They're idiots. That's called population control. Yeah.
They're sitting on their board waiting.
If you get a real tsunami coming in, first of all, those things that come in from way, way out there, they may have a wave height of what they're calling meters these days, 1 to 2 meters. Out there in 500 feet of water, 1,000 feet of water, that's a little ripple out there over the top. But as that thing gets closer and closer to shore, it gets bigger, and then when it lands on the beach at 0 feet of water, ooh.
Well, as of
shore break,
maybe we'll get lucky. As of around 5 a.m. local time, a small portion of Northern California that borders Oregon remains under tsunami warning. And I didn't mean maybe if we get lucky. I just meant that, California's still under part of it.
If this thing is as big as they say,
might clean it up.
We could get, we could get the East Coast washed off with the waves coming from the west side. What do you think? Maybe we could have a new channel carved between the East Coast and the West Coast, right through the middle of the United States.
Have you ever looked at the streets of downtown LA, California, different areas, all homeless tents?
Yeah.
It's just, you would never expect it there. It's just horrible.
The conservatives will say, come on, bring it on.
I want to tell you real quick. I had to go to the Board of Elections on Monday, and I met a woman in there that was filling out her.
Congratulations.
No, they're good people. I love them over there. But I started talking to a woman who was filling out a voter registration. She was unaffiliated, and she changed it to Republican. She said, even though I had changed unaffiliated a while back, I always vote Republican. And we got talking about a lot of things, and we brought up Roy Cooper running for governor, for U.S. Senate, and she was just like, no. And we had such a great conversation, but it's nice to see. And then I talked to her about municipal elections. unfortunately, she's in the area that she can't, so, but we've got all that coming up soon. But it was a nice
She can lie about
conversation.
where she lives.
But isn't that voter fraud?
Yeah, there's some
Hey,
people
how
that
many
are running that.
How
might
many
be-
people do you see get away with it? How many people have you seen that are prosecuted for voter registration or voter fraud?
You don't hear about it,
For
do
voter
you?
fraud. How many have you seen? Do you know of any?
No.
Anybody out there been cited
Not
for?
personally.
Have you read about any?
Mm-mm.
You got any names? I want to see them.
You're exactly right.
I keep waiting for that stuff.
Yeah. Well, what?
I was purging my stuff last night on my cell phone back to 2020-ish. Guess who popped up that it was in one of my messages?
Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
there you
See if
go.
that's the right
Our
number.
new senator.
Let me-
The
Let me see.
704 area code.
Yeah.
That's an old number.
God, what-
Let me see if it's
Yeah.
the same.
They don't ever get rid of the numbers.
Where's he at?
Just
I
give,
might
me,
have him down as C instead of K.
just give me the last, what?
Michael instead of Mike. Yep, there he is right there.
Just the last 2 digits of the 4 digits on his number.
Wait a minute. I hit the wrong one. Where did he go? Just,
We hope Washington.
I have his. Excuse me.
Boom, 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 ba-doo, ba-doo, boom.
Wait a minute. I've
We'll
got,
get out of here,
it's not
folks.
showing it.
We'll be back tomorrow. She'll have it.
Is it after the
The
pre?
last 2 digits
I
of the
can't
whole
get to
number.
it unless I hit it to 04. Okay.
That's what it is.
And I also have the number to his scheduler.
It's
I'd rather go direct to the
Not that it may. Oh, I have gone direct. I've sat there and text him, and he'll put me on a 3-way and
text.
say, yeah.
I'll ring. Hello.
He won't answer. I'm telling you right now.
Hello.
I've called him. He doesn't answer that phone. Lets it go to message.
This is Mr. Goldstein with NBC News. I would like to talk to you about those events that occurred back in Charlotte. When you were
I'm
living there.
not going to bother him until after, and if he does, announces.
He'll announce.
You know, it's,
He'll announce, but he won't use
'cause
X.
I was fairly known in Wilmington
Yeah.
as a reporter. So when I would make a call and say, "Could I tell him what it's about?" I said, "Yes." I tell him that I've been talking to his attorney,
Him and I.
and I'd like to talk to him about his tax returns.
We walked.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. I'll have him call you right back. And they always call right back.
Yeah.
I've done that with attorneys. I did it with the airport manager, who was a controversial guy at the time. I did it with all sorts of people. But they never asked me about what I said that I was calling them about.
I bet he's wishing right now, can I just stay the RNC chairman? I really don't want to do this other. The job I have now is great. I travel like
We'll see
good
you tomorrow.
food.
It's Thursday. We got Miller time. It will be a Papa Top time tomorrow. Who else do we have tomorrow? Anybody yet?
No,
Everybody that
Yeah.
calls.
everybody that calls.
Y'all call, please.
Yeah.
We enjoy calls. Steve, thank you for calling. We're just going to put you out here as a regular caller.
Theo, we miss you.
Theo, he's in Greece, I think.
Oh. That's some other
He's
friends that
starting
are
a
in Greece.
remake of Greece. That's
Okay.
what I mean.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Okay, you're live and local Real Talk. We're mostly awake sometimes and never woke, always. We'll see you in the morning.